Welcome to Trauma Triple Take Live. I am Margaret. I have my wonderful co-hosts Amber and Mel with me. We're coming at you from our new and improved studio.
Kind of.
We're making adjustments.
We're working on it. But thank you for joining us. Tonight we're going to be talking about projection. So as always, if you have a question, we'd love to hear from you. Put it in the chat. If there's something else that you'd like to include, please feel free to email us at our email, t3live@proton.me. I did also want to just go over our disclaimer. So the views and opinions expressed on Trauma Triple Take are those of the hosts and the guests and do not constitute professional, medical, psychological, or legal advice. This podcast is for informational entertainment purposes only. If you're experiencing a medical health crisis, please contact the National Crisis Hotline at 988 or your local emergency services. Listener discretion is advised, as some episodes may contain sensitive subject matter, including discussions of trauma, abuse, and mental health challenges. By listening, you acknowledge that you do so at your own discretion. Welcome.
We're back.
We're here. So let's get into it. So tonight's subject is about projection. So what does that mean to you?
I think for me, projection is really when we are putting something on somebody else when it's really something that's happening internally with us. So kind of like a projector, it takes the screen from the machine and it puts it onto a wall. And that is what you are doing. You're taking your emotions, your feelings, and projecting it onto something else.
Yeah. What do you think, Amber?
Yeah. Same thing. And it's not always, like you were talking about, not always. Well, usually it's something that you're like not consciously doing, right?
Absolutely.
It's something. It's like these biases, whatever I'm saying, that you have, that you're not consciously like aware, that you're not like purposely being like, oh, you're this because I am, like you're not aware of it, but you can become aware of it. And we should probably, because it's more issues with ourselves than anything, and then we can work on that and not put it on others.
Absolutely. I think a really good example too is like when it comes to arguments with your partner, or people with anxious attachment style can struggle with this a lot because we're so nervous about the outcome of something. We can sometimes pick fights with other people or assume intention of other people when really it's just us soothing our own anxiety. And I speak as somebody that is a recovered anxious attachment style person. But it definitely, it makes things really challenging sometimes to figure out, like, okay, is this me or is this just my feelings and what's happening in the whole scene? Like, it's almost you have to convince yourself you're not gaslighting yourself sometimes.
Yeah,
that's true. Yes,
but
yeah, I agree.
It's so interesting how it ends up, like, basically you end up recognizing projection more and more when you can reduce metacognition, or when you start to introduce metacognition into your thinking. So metacognition is thinking about your thinking. And when you start to do that as somebody that has mental health stuff, it's a great skill, but it can start to bring up those realizations around projection and how much you might be inserting that into your relationships with other people as you slowly start to uncover your own issues and your own mental health strategies that you use to cope with things. I think that's a good way to put that. But what about you, Margaret? Do you feel like you have any other examples of projection? Or Amber?
I feel like I feel like projection, whenever I think about it, I think about ways that I've shown up in projection, and I think just definitely living in my trauma, kind of bringing out issues in a way of like, I had a feeling, it triggered, or I had an experience, it triggered a feeling, and then now I'm putting this feeling on you when necessarily, like, it's not necessarily matching the circumstances, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's how it shows up for me, and it's been a lot of work in trying to be conscious of where I'm coming from with things that I address with people, that I'm not just coming at it from my trauma brain, I like to say, and coming at it from a constructed thought from my prefrontal cortex of like, no, this is actually how I feel. This has grieved me for this reason, blah blah blah. And so versus kind of just lashing out because I'm feeling a feeling.
Right. Well, and it's so weird too, because I don't know about you, Amber, either. Like, it's almost like a delayed response, especially when you're first getting used to it. Like, you are so quick to respond in your emotions so easily because it's so second nature. And then you end up thinking about it for a while and you can come back to it and be like, you know what? So that actually wasn't the thing.
Exactly.
And it takes
Yeah.
a whole, like, I don't know, sometimes it takes a few days to realize, like, that is not what was actually going on in this scenario.
Yeah. A lot of apologizing with projection.
Yes. A lot of apologizing.
I find myself having to go back and be like, okay, so this whole 45-minute long argument that we had about this thing, yeah, I actually don't feel that way. It's really just because I was uncomfortable with how I felt in the moment. And now, like, I'm having to walk back everything I said. And yeah, it can be a little bit of a learning curve, to put it gently. But
Humbling.
yes, exactly. Exactly. Regarding this subject, I had somebody close to me who wanted to, kind of put an input and kind of get a take from us. So somebody that I was talking to had brought up a conversation between moms regarding young kids and having sleepovers. So this person had said it's something to the effect of, I don't want my kid to go to sleepovers or to participate in sleepovers because of the risk of childhood sexual assault, CSA. So, from my own experience and what we talked about in previous episodes, having children in unsupervised situations that, with certain context is key, right? Like certain contexts and different things going on, that can put people at risk for like sexual assault and some kind of like inappropriate activities to happen. However, what do you feel is the line between putting your child at risk or putting a child at risk versus maybe some projection from somebody's own experiences?
I know personally, I feel like this is such a hard topic specifically.
Yeah.
Just saying,
Yeah,
like,
it is.
because there is a legitimate fear involved in it. Like, I can understand not wanting to put your children at risk and being concerned about like the level of risk that it is to have them spend the night somewhere else.
Totally.
I think that in it though, I think it's a combination of projection and protection. I
Absolutely.
don't think it's a single issue. I feel like you basically have to take it with, okay, what can I do to reduce the likelihood while still allowing the experience? Because
Mhm.
that's a pretty big part of it too. So like, okay, how can we reframe this so that my kid can have an experience that is kind of core to a lot of people's childhoods, as
Yeah.
well as like keeping them safe, which could be, having them have sleepovers at their place, or like knowing like really well the people that they're going to sleep over at. But what about you, Amber? What do you think?
No, I agree with everything that you just said. I don't have kids, but I know that sleepovers were like so fun. Like they were definitely a core like I mean, I don't know if you guys had a lot of sleepovers, but I loved it with the
Yeah.
neighborhood kids, with my friends from school. Like, it was just so fun. And so I feel like I definitely get the worry, especially now. And, you know, we all know people, we hear like all these stories and it happens. And so I think if I was in that position, I would like probably limit it to certain friends, like friends that I knew very well of my child and their parents. And not only that, but like who lives in the house? Like, is there an older teenage boy? Like, is there like a girl? Or, you know, like I think it matters to know exactly and have a conversation like parent to parent beforehand and say, this is, you know, I'm have these boundaries and I'm very strict, or not strict, but like I have these rules, you know, and I just want to make sure we're on the same page. And again, I think it's important to know who all is in the house, like because maybe they have an older sibling who's also going to have a sleepover, and I'm not sure, like, you know, mixing age groups and stuff could get a little dicey. So I think that there's like a lot more to it, but I think I don't think it's fair to like take that away from kids. I just think that you have to be smart about it, because you do have to protect them, and yeah, that's what I think about it.
I
Yeah.
feel like, just sorry, Margaret, just one more thing too. I also feel like acknowledging that you are unable to control everything in their world. Like,
Yeah,
kids are going to leave their childhood experience with some form of trauma. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be big trauma,
Yeah.
but nobody is exempt. And so keeping that in mind in that realm, like, you can only do so much. And as long as you're taking the steps to try to put in safety nets for them,
Yeah.
I think that that is the best that you can do. Also, okay, I also don't have children though. So, you know, but if it's, I know it's not the same, but I feel weird. Never mind. Never mind. I was going to bring pets into it and I'm not going to do that.
People always bring up pets. I get it though. It's fine.
I'm not worried about my pet having that problem at other people's houses.
Right? Exactly.
It's not really
It's all
the same.
good. It's all good. It's all good. I get what you mean though.
We always do that because me and Mel don't have
Yeah. Those
kids,
are your
and Margaret
babies.
doesn't. We're the
Yeah.
animal people. So.
Yeah, those are your babies. I totally understand. Yeah. And like from my perspective, I and my personal parenting, I am a strict no sleepovers person. And it's only because statistically, and this is just from my experience, my own personal choice and everything, whatever, you know, different and okay for each family. So I just want to put that out there. But for me, the statistics do show that, like, you know, it is going to come if the sexual assault situation were to happen, most likely it's going to be somebody that you know versus somebody that you don't. And in my own experience, it was somebody that was basically like family to us. It was a church member. And so we were with these people multiple times a week, every week for, you know, a lot of my formative years. And so these are people that you trust. My parents were best friends. You know what I mean? Like, so it's all of those things. I totally think that the responsibility on parents is to mitigate harm. Yes, you can't prevent trauma from happening, but the onus is on us to try and mitigate harm where we can. So if we know the statistics, it's also going to put me under fire, but like riding a bike without a helmet, right? All of us did it. We know that there's a risk involved in riding a bike without a helmet. It's just, what's that risk going to be? You know, like what are the chances? That's kind of how I feel about that. And for us, you know, like family, we love them. You know, our son can sleep over, you know, our family's house. That's fine. But as far as other people outside of that very protected, very small, tight circle, I don't feel comfortable doing that because, and is that projection? Like, this is the conversation, right? Like, is it projection? Sure, but also, like, I
But
don't know. I don't
based
know.
on
It's my kid,
experience and
Yeah.
statistics and a lot of
Okay.
that.
It's tough.
Can I play devil's advocate for just a moment though? Because I do
Absolutely.
feel
This
like
is what it's for.
in this realm of like the idea of statistics, right? The reason that it is going to be most likely somebody you know is because those people have the most access to your kids. So
Right.
technically, even the small circle would still include that risk. Like, and also, even, I mean, it's just like, your risk of getting in a car accident is higher than your risk of getting in a plane accident, but you are in a car accident far more than you are in a plane.
Right.
And like, there's going to be risk. And I totally
Yes.
understand like trying to reduce that risk, but to the expense of core childhood experiences, I don't know.
Well, also not saying we're not going to, we're not going to keep our child in a bubble, right? Like, that's not going to happen.
That's
Uh, so, like, also with that is giving education at age appropriate levels, making sure that we know what's safe touch, what's not safe touch. We call our body parts by their names. We are conscious of who is allowed to touch our body and who's not. So, like, all of that is, like, again, context is key, right? Like, all of that is also at play as well. So that hopefully by the time, my son is 3 for context also. So, like,
Yeah.
by the time that we are, in more relationships with people outside the family, when we're going to school, when we're participating, if we do, in sports and all the things, like, there will be more context and more education around what is safe and what is not safe and what is a warning sign and what's not. So as my son grows and he's able to, participate in the world a little bit more robustly, I will trust him, hopefully, to have that kind of, like, background to
Absolutely.
participate. Because obviously every parent unfortunately goes through the time when their kid is no longer in the home, and you can't control what they do, and you can't control who they're with and what's going on. So as a little tyke of 3 years old, I absolutely do have control and assert it. But but as he grows, I get that it's going to change, and I don't want to rob him of experiences, right? Like, life is all about experiences. It's just trying to mitigate that harm wherever possible, I think, is the key for something like this, in my opinion.
So I have a question. What do you feel about like would you have other kids stay at your house? Or is
So
that
I would be
still-
more open to that. My thing is that inappropriate things can happen anywhere. I mean, it can happen. It happened to me at church. You know what I mean? Like, so, as well as sleepovers and other things. So, like, it can happen literally anywhere. I think really, like, the 100% proof, like, way to prevent something like that to happen with room the entire time as the sleepover is happening and to stay awake. Like, that's not realistic, right? So, like, in my mind, and how I feel about it is, my home to me and to people that I know and love is a safe place. And I want other people to feel that my home is a safe place and that I'm around safe people. And so if other parents feel comfortable with that, then that's fine with me, because I know that the culture of safety that I promote in my own home, whether other people are comfortable with that or not, that's their kind of choice to make.
Absolutely. Well, and I think that it's so, I don't know. I think we're just viewing it from two different spectrums, right? And I think that's a lot of parents too. Like, there's in the thought that I have around it, I guess I'm thinking about the overall scope of things. And I completely understand wanting to protect your child from things. I mean, it would be like you said, not, or having your kid not ride their bike without a helmet. Like, I said that weird. Having your kid not ride their bike without a helmet.
Not riding with the helmet on, not off.
Bike. I don't know. But I do get it. Like, you do take measurable action to try to reduce risk. And I could see that as that. And like, as long as you are finding ways to, I guess, make sure that you're not impinging on their experience either. Because it is a part of being social as well. There's a huge social aspect to that. And learning like social behaviors and group dynamics. And like that is a huge part of growing up, is that like being with peers outside of institutions and like how you make friends. But you just have to find different ways to instill that and like figure out how to navigate that system a little bit differently to kind of manage what the expectation is.
Yeah, very well put. Yeah. Do you guys have any other like examples of what you would think like I'm thinking it's kind of like this kind of scenario, like any other kind of examples of projection that you've experienced, have shown up, or that you've heard of?
I just want to say real quick, just to point out how I think this got brought up when I was giving Mel crap that one day when we were talking, and she was like super focused on her printer and stuff. Like I was giving her so much crap because she wasn't paying attention to me, and I'm like, wow, you cannot multitask. And just gave her crap, and then I tried to do something else, and I was like, okay, I can multitask. So after making like a whole big deal out of it, it was like
karma came back.
Yeah, exactly. My bad. So I just want to share that because I thought it was funny.
Sorry. One thing that I was thinking about too was and okay, first I want to preface this by saying that this does not happen in all cases. But if you have previously been cheated on in a relationship and you go into a new relationship, you can start projecting that onto the new relationship because you haven't fully healed from that trust issue. And that's a really good example of projection as well. Like if you're constantly jealous or worried about what they're doing or following their actions because of somebody else, and they have never, I want to say it's when they haven't done anything to prove that they've done anything wrong.
Right. Without cause.
Yes, without cause. If you have a history of cheating in the relationship or, you know, emotional, physical, otherwise. What did you say?
Yeah, I said if you have a history of cheating in the relationship, then yeah, like it makes sense that you're looking, you know what I mean? But if you haven't, then
Okay. But no, definitely like you can be bringing that into a new relationship and it can cause a lot of disharmony in that relationship, even when there wasn't a real reason for it to be there in the first place. And I've seen that a lot in relationships where somebody has been cheated on in the past and then they're bringing it into this new relationship and they don't know how to calm that level of anxiety of potentially being traumatized again by having somebody, you know, be unfaithful. And it's definitely something you have to really be aware of when it's occurring so that you can be ahead of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That actually created a lot of issues when me and Adam first got together because my ex had cheated on me multiple times and it was a whole thing. So Adam hadn't really been in like a serious relationship. He dated, you know, but I was so suspicious of everything. Like, who are you talking to? Like, what are you gonna do there? Like, how come you don't want me to come? Or like, you know, I was like over the top. Like, again, I was also dealing with trauma of that ex relationship. But there were multiple times where he's like, you're like blaming me for something he did, or you're assuming I'm going to do the same thing when I haven't shown you any reason. And so it eventually, we had that argument a few times, more than a few, because it took me a while.
It takes a while, right?
Yeah, but eventually I was like, you're right. It's not fair. Like, you haven't done anything to make me need to worry. So I need to like let that go. That was a different situation, a different person, and it's not fair to bring that in. But that was definitely a reality of mine.
Well, and I think it takes time too. Like in any relationship, if you have been previously cheated on, understanding that it could take a few years even for you
Yep.
to feel safe in that new relationship. Just because it does take that repeated trust being gained in order to break that feeling of distrust. Like, even though they haven't done anything, it's really hard to go in with a blank slate when you've
Yeah.
had that trust broken in the past.
Well, and also it wasn't just that. I mean, that was the biggest reason I did, but even just like in my childhood, like my stepdad had an affair, and like it ripped our whole family apart. And it was ongoing even after she found out. And so like I had been around quite a bit of like just cheating people, so it was really hard to like, I don't know, to really like trust somebody in that way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, that totally makes sense. When I'm trying to think about other level or other types of projection, because there's so many different ways that it shows up, like that you don't even think about. Sometimes when you're, I don't know. Anybody else have any thoughts about where it might show up? Because
Yeah.
let's do it, Margaret.
So for me, how it's shown up in my relationship with my husband is earlier on when we were dating and even into our early marriage. He would go off and have like a boys' day or whatever, and I've never honestly cared what he's very much a hobbyist. So I'm like, go nuts, go. I love that for you. I love that he can go and find something that fills him up. Um, and so he would go and have a boys' day, go into the racetrack, go and do whatever. And my insecurity within myself would be upset because he wouldn't like let me know when he was coming back, or he's just like enjoying his time. And it would cause issues in the relationship because I would project my feelings of not wanting to be alone. So I had very early on in my trauma recovery, I had a really hard time just being by myself because it's loud in there. You know what I mean? And all the things that were coming up for me, the things that were kind of plaguing my mind at the time, they were loud. And I didn't know what it was, and I didn't realize that I couldn't put a name to it. So then, after his boys' day, he would come home and he'd find me, upset on the couch and all like pissy and what's going on? I don't know what's going on, and we'd have this.
No, Margaret.
Oh, what's wrong? Nothing. I'm fine. I'm great. Let's go to sleep.
Whole thing.
Yeah. And then it turns into a whole like long thing. And at the end of it, I come to find out, oh, this wasn't actually about you. I actually don't have feelings about you going to have a boys' day. You should, and you need to have that and entertain yourself, and that's good. And I trust you. Our relationship is good. This is about me not wanting to be alone. This is about me feeling like I was, bummed that I didn't have plans, you know what I mean? Or whatever. So that was an example that popped up several times until we could kind of nail it down on what it is. And of course, several years into marriage later and a child later and many love the silence when I get it. So it's all good. But yeah, that's how it showed up.
I have the hiccups. Oh no.
Oh no.
But no, I was gonna say, like, it can be really hard when you're in that position and you don't recognize it, and you're like,
yes!
I've been so pissed off at you. And then you have to come back and be like,
yeah,
sorry, I'm a jerk.
Yeah, literally. Yes. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I feel bad. And, now I've like ruined the night, and I've probably said things that I didn't mean because I didn't know how to put words to my feelings. I didn't even know I had feelings about that.
Well, and how do you, okay, I am curious, like, how do each of you deal with projection? There was an earthquake over here. I don't know What happened?
I
You know
missed
those little
Oh
you
my
know
god.
those little canes from cartoons where you're
Where it's like,
I
huh.
just want, oh yeah, that was one of those moments.
Oh my god.
No,
That's
I
great.
have a stack of books, and they all just decided to go. Shoop.
Good. Good,
But
good.
I want to know everybody's ways of handling projection. Like, can you walk me through how you notice it in yourself and how you come to terms with it? That was a big question for you both, but
No, that's fine. I want to give Amber a chance to go first if you think of something, but I do have an answer.
I don't know. Maybe I need to reflect on myself more to see where that
Where that shows up.
yeah, I do know, like, I don't know, like sometimes there have been times where, like, one example I can think of, which is stupid, but I don't know, came to mind. I was I think at work, and this girl was like laughing super loud, and I was just like, oh my god, like, why is she laughing so loud? Like, is she looking for attention and stuff? And then it hit me, and I was like, people tell me I laugh loud. Like, and I was like, so, like, kind of having those judgments, where I'm just like, oh, like, I don't know. I guess kind of how I was raised, like, my mom specifically really didn't like drama, like dramatic people, people with, especially like teenage girls and stuff. There's a lot of that. No offense to any teenage girls, it's just the truth. But yeah, so I always jump to the conclusion of like, oh, they must be looking for attention, or oh, they're trying to do this or that, and then I'll like be like, well, I do that, and I'm not like not seeking attention when I do it. So I guess I more see it in those ways of being like judgmental until I realize like, oh, I do that too, and maybe I don't know why they're doing it. I don't need to jump to that conclusion. Why did? But yeah, I think maybe I need to do a little bit of soul searching because I feel like I probably do it a lot more than I think.
that's okay. We're all human.
Yeah, we're all human and we're all continuously evolving, right? Like, this is a road with no end. So we are always finding new things about ourselves and kind of in our relationships, in our own personal inward journey. So yeah, I think that's a really vulnerable and brave place too, to even kind of put it where like, I'm still working on it. I'm not really sure yet. That's okay. We're all there too. You know what I mean? There's places that we come at, just in general, speaking about this podcast and our framework for it, there's things that we come at with experience and with knowledge, still are working out, and some things that we have no knowledge of whatsoever. This is the point of this podcast, is to bring our vulnerabilities to the surface and let everybody know that we're all in it together and there is no perfect journey. Just living, our life for the first time. So I think that's awesome, Amber. Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I totally forgot.
Oh, we were talking about how you work through your like recognizing that you're projecting.
Yes. So usually, how it's shown up with me and my husband is now, after a lot of practice, lots of fights. I have gotten to the point where if I really like feel something is not sitting right, then I kind of, before I approach my husband, I just kind of, and this is just for this example because that's what I brought up, but I just kind of sit there and reflect and say, why does this bother me? And does it really bother me because of this reason, or is there something deeper? And so I try and do some of that pre-reflection before bringing it to him, just because a whole lot of conversation about something that, you know, is really just going on inside of me, which is
Mhm.
unfortunately most of the time what it is. But if it's actually bothering me, then I just come up to him and say, hey, this is bothering me. Can we talk about it? And that's it, you know, and we just kind of go from there. So it's taken a lot of practice to get to that point of like,
Absolutely.
is this actually a me thing, or is this a thing that I actually care about?
I think
I
that
will
my
say, sorry.
no, go for it.
I was just gonna say I do agree with that. Like, I think I do that a lot more before I. It's the more internal dialogue.
Yeah.
I analyze everything up and down, sideways. Like my brain just nonstop. So usually I do the same thing. Like especially with like Adam, if there's something that's irritating me, I do the same thing. I'll be like, why is this irritating? And is it really so I don't totally identify with that, what you said. So I guess I do think about it a lot. It's just I think a lot about it beforehand. And then
Huh.
is it even worth bringing up? Because if
Yeah.
it's, you know, I've learned there are plenty, like the pick your fights thing is I live by like
Yeah.
if I say this, I have a good, you know, feeling on how he's gonna react. Is it necessary? Like what is actually gonna be accomplished? Like anything positive or just like, you know, so I really do think through a lot of things beforehand. So
What's
I was just
interesting? No, it's okay. What's interesting is I feel like I'm really bad at that part. Like not I just feel I get this feeling of like dishonesty, which is
Mm.
an interesting thought, but I feel like if I'm not sharing my full experience with you, that I'm being dishonest with you,
Yeah.
which is my own personal thought process, not anybody else's. But I do find that like I end up analyzing a lot and like I will come to Kayla with conversations sometimes, being like, here's the deal. I know this has nothing to do with you, but I just want to talk it out. And
Yeah.
then it'll be about, you know, something that she did, but you know, being like, here's the deal. I know that you didn't do this. This is just how I'm perceiving it. And then like da 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 da. But it helps me feel like I'm not, I don't know, holding something that I would if I was in that situation, I would want to have the opportunity to like discuss it. But that's not
Right.
always, you know, the best situation or best time for everybody. But I think that I struggle really hard with being like, okay, I'm not going to talk about this.
Yeah. Right.
But
Yeah.
I do a
And I
very
think,
similar situation too, is like going through thinking about the thought, like, okay, is this who actually owns this? What could this be tied to? What could I potentially be bringing into this right now? How am I feeling in my body at this moment?
Mm.
Like, how can I discuss this? And sometimes it's really just being like, I realize I'm sounding really upset and I'm just so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know what to do with it right now. So I'm just going to do my thing and I'll come back to it later. But yeah. What were we going to say,
yeah,
Margaret? Sorry, I cut you off.
I think, no, you're fine. I think that, that's really a nice way of approaching it too for Kayla, because then it, hey, I'm letting you off the hook on this thing. This isn't about you. So that initially to me, like as the other person in the conversation would be like, okay, so I can come into this with my defenses down and I can just listen to what you're saying. Whereas like I definitely have not been known to do that. So like I'm like, you're doing this, and that kind of we backtrack. We do some
That's fair.
backtracking. You know what I mean? But putting it too, like, hey, this isn't about you. This is a me thing. I'm just bringing it to you. This is what's going on. I love that.
What's interesting too, though, is I've had experiences with my ex where that communication style didn't work.
Oh,
Like I was trying to let them know, like, hey, this isn't about you, this is about me.
Right.
But it's like somehow the conversation would get disconnected and she would start taking ownership of it and be like,
Mm.
but it would end up making this like looping issue where I was trying to explain that she wasn't the problem, but then she was taking ownership of the problem. So then I was trying to defend the fact that she wasn't the problem. So we just kept doing this like weird circle.
Yeah.
And so just so you know, if you try to do this in your life, not everybody can handle or wants to handle that type of conversation style.
Yeah. And that's really interesting too, though, because, you know, it's not a one size fits all.
Absolutely.
Especially dealing with relationships. You have two different people with normally two different attachment styles coming at this problem from different perspectives and different traumas and different lived experiences. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Well, and I think too so my partner definitely has more of an avoidant attachment style, but like she does so well with the conversation being like, hey, this isn't about you. It immediately puts her defenses down. She's like,
Right.
oh, okay, I don't have to actually like do anything with this. It's just a listening
listen.
exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And she takes
Right.
that super well. She's like, oh yeah, okay, let's go.
Yeah, that's
I can
great.
listen all day.
Hmm.
But no. And I think my ex had more of an anxious attachment style. So it definitely was like, well, what do you mean about this? Like, what do you
Right.
like? What's actually going on underneath this? Even though you say it's not about me, like clearly there's some root to this. Like, and so it just ended up going off down the river.
Yeah, and then there's that confirmation bias, right? Like of wherever you find it, a thing, you're gonna find more of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you feel this about something else, even though it doesn't have anything to do with me now, it's going to have something to do with me later. And
Later.
then I'm going to find all these different things. You know, yeah, that's a huge thing too of like yeah, we all come at things differently. You know, we all come at things differently. I'm personally more earned some secure attachment over the years and I'm grateful for it. But I'm definitely more on the anxious side. And I would say my husband's more a little bit avoidant. So in a way, it's kind of like this push-pull energy a lot of the times. Over the years, though, we've really come like we kind of joke that we're like really good at fighting now because we're able to kind of, you know, these are my feelings. These are your feelings. Okay. These are our feelings. Now, how do we meet in the middle for resolution? What do I need to give? What do I need to receive? What do you need to receive?
Yeah.
And then we can kind of like squash things pretty easily and pretty quickly now because it's just taken a lot of time of, you know, I'm gonna, you know, yell at you for 2 hours and you're gonna shut down emotionally and we're not gonna get anywhere. We're gonna do this whole circle back and forth. Yeah, it's like it's a
Okay. You've brought up a really great thought process for this projection topic, and that is in relationships around household chores. Like around who has like the ownership of a household duty. Like I feel like there is okay, this is a great example. My partner is likes things a very specific way. She likes to do her laundry every, you know, Saturday. She likes to make sure that it's folded and put away when she does it. I am a fucking chaotic tornado. Okay. I'm more like I'll get to it. Like it's not like crazy, right? Like, but there's no set schedule. It's like when my laundry needs to be done, I'll do my laundry. Like when something's getting a little bit too messy, I'll clean it up. But like for the most part, I don't have a particular time frame, which is why it works out really well that a lot of times I end up doing the like occasional cleaning. So like I'm the one that does like the bathroom because that only needs to be done once a week. Like, and I can just kind of do it whenever I feel like it, or I do the drain, or I clean the dishwasher, or I clean the baseboards. Like I do the weird stuff. And she's the one that keeps up on the dishes and the laundry because she has a set day. And like, you know,
Right.
it works out. But like we actually had a huge like thing around this because our styles are so different in that way. And I was like, here's the deal. You are worried about me doing my own thing, existing in my own space. Like I try to be considerate of what's going on for you. And like we had to find a real balance because she was projecting onto me her expectations of how the house should be and what she grew up with. And I was projecting onto her what I didn't grow up with that, but like I grew up in a slightly authoritarian household, and I think the product was fuck chores, I'll do them when I want to.
Mhm.
And so I know to get them done, but I kind of do them whenever I like, whatever suits me. And so finding that balance and like how we were both like, I was feeling like she was being passive aggressive about doing chores, and she was like, no, I'm just doing the dishes. And I'm like, yeah, but you set that plate in there a little bit more angrily than you normally
You said it with the dish.
right. So I'm like reading into every little like dish being put in the dishwasher, or how hard she closes the or the washing machine. But like she's just doing her thing. She's living in
Yeah.
her own world. And she's over here like, how does she not see the can that has been on this damn counter for 3 days? And I'm like, it's not that I don't see it on the counter. It's like I see it, and then I'm like, oh, I'll get that next time I get up.
I do
Right.
I do that a
Right.
lot.
And then 3 days later, I'm like, okay, we've collected 4 cans. We've hit max capacity. I got to remove them all. Like,
Yeah.
Mm.
That's
but she actually calls me her gerbil because I just go around and make little messes everywhere.
That's so nice. Oh, that's so endearing.
my little turtle.
I'm really not dirty though, guys.
No, I
wanna let
believe
the
you.
internet know
I believe you.
I do clean, slightly messy.
I'm
It's so funny that you say this because I'm like, wow, you must be living in my marriage too. Because my husband like jokes that I can't sit still. I can't let a single like how many monster cans and energy drink cans have I thrown away before they were done being drank? Like I'm like, oh well, you're done. He wasn't done with it. He wasn't done with that plate, you know, because I can't let the thing touch the counter. I can't let the thing touch the table. I have to take it and throw it away. And even watching TV, he used to get so mad at me. He's like, would you just sit down and watch the show? I'm like, no, I can't. I can't because I'm cleaning them, washing dishes and folding laundry and doing all the things. Like that's me. So it's so funny hearing your perspective on it. And how many times that has come up in our relationship, I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you. And it's so funny because my husband went from the kind of guy who like you couldn't see the floor in his room to like now he's worse than me in some ways where I'm like, whatever, I don't feel like doing it. I come back out and everything's like tidied up and he's like, oh, I felt a crumb under my foot. I had to vacuum the house. like who's complaining? But yeah, it's just really funny how that shows up.
Well, and I'm really curious to see how your kiddo ends up turning out.
I know.
My mom was that person where quarterly we would rearrange the entire house because of spring. But like spring happened every 3 months. Apparently,
Oh, wow.
cleaning. And like we actually have a running joke with my Aunt Patty how don't leave your coffee unmanned because she will throw it in the dishwasher. Like my mom's entire side of the family, well, I shouldn't say entire side. My mom and my mom's sister, my aunt, are very much like, I gotta stay busy. I gotta do this. But I think seeing that my whole life, I'm like, are you just gonna stress out forever about this? Like,
yeah. My grandma's very much that way too, and I'm not. I'm just like, I'm fine.
It's hard to. Yeah, and it's hard to like. It's been a muscle I've had to like really work out with like being okay with the mess, I was like one of these people where I would clean until 11 o'clock at night just so that I didn't wake up with a dirty sink. Like I was always like that. And so it's taken a lot for me, and motherhood really, really broke some things in me in a way where it's like, it's just going to be there and it's going to be okay. And if there's an ant on the counter, nobody's going to die. It's going to be all right. Like it's not the end of the world. And where before it was like definitely the end of the world. But now it's like fine. And so there's days when I'm sitting there scrubbing the ceilings, and then there's other days when I'm just like, I don't care. There's a pile of laundry taller than my bed, and I don't care. You know what yeah, so it's a balance.
You scrub your ceilings?
No. No. It was
Okay.
hyperbole.
I'm the
No.
messy one. I definitely clean my ceilings.
I clean my ceiling fan.
No,
I do like the cobwebs in the corner, but that's about
Yeah.
it. I don't sit there and
okay. Like I guess
like a
no,
scrub
I don't
brush.
scrub. I do all the corners and I do all the tops and like
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But
Yeah. I
that's
do
what I'm
wash my
saying. I do
walls.
deep cleaning well.
Yeah.
Because like what happens is I'll see something on the wall, and then next thing I know, I've cleaned 7 of the walls in the house on a
Yeah.
random friggin' Tuesday afternoon,
Right.
just because I got irritated about it. I was like,
Same.
okay, too far.
Have you ever tried to move a picture and then you're like, there's cobwebs everywhere, and you're like, oh my god, and then you're just sitting there with the Swiffer mop, like just like scrubbing down your walls and stuff? Yeah, it happens.
Oh, absolutely, it does. I hate it. I hate it when I move. Okay, we have 3 pets, obviously, and I hate it when I move a piece of furniture and it looks like it has not seen the light of day for 7 months. And there's
Right.
just a giant pile of fur that's collected in that spot. And I'm
Yep.
like, I swear to God, the amount of time that we sweep every freaking day, it's wild. I don't know how they procure more fuzz, but
We only have one dog, and I get what you mean. And we vacuum. Adam loves vacuuming. I don't know. He vacuums all the time. He is kind of like that. Like he uses the word grimy. He's like a floor feeling grimy, and which it's not like not in like it's not what you would think of as
Not
grimy.
natural
But
grimy?
yeah, that I think is when he uses. Like so, he vacuums all the time. But yeah, like when you move like a piece of furniture and like there's just like tons of dog hair under there, like it's just everywhere.
Yeah.
it's irritating. I move our furniture at least probably every 2 months. Like there's very few things that I haven't moved because just they're too heavy. But even the stuff that I move frequently, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
There's so
I know.
much there everywhere. I can
I
see
know.
why my parents didn't like having pets.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love my babies. Don't get me wrong. But I can only imagine how hard it would be to have babies like that and human ones.
It's tough. It's tough. And the amount of mess, it's just it's mess.
Sorry.
It's you just kind of have to go like, I give up. I give
Yeah,
up.
pretty much. I'm like,
I
am I going to
surrender.
spend my entire day stressing about this?
Right.
That does not sound like how I want to live my life. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go the other way.
Yeah. Exactly. And you have to reclaim your peace.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one. Reclaim your peace.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Reclaim your peace, people.
I love how we got totally on like talking about cleaning.
Oh,
And
yeah.
It's a
we did.
projection.
yeah, no, I know. I know how
It
we
is a
got there.
I should be doing it right now.
Right?
It's fine if I talk about it, right? That's basically the same thing.
It's the same thing. It counts. Yeah. But the projection really, like, to bring it all
Back to-
together is it's there in the cleaning too, though, because for me, if I have a clean house and a clean environment, then that means that everything is in order. And so the chaos in here feels quieted, even though nothing has really changed. So what's been the struggle is quieting my mind here and letting the world be what it's going to be. And and we still fold the laundry, but that's not a projection of the calm that I want to experience. The calm that I want to experience is within me. Right. And so that's been the change. So even in the cleaning and the mess and the fights, it's all projection, right? In some way or another.
It really is.
Yeah.
Everything's a projection.
I was gonna say, like, I know we're getting down like to time, but I didn't know if there hasn't been like any talking in the chat, but I don't know. Like I was gonna say earlier, like, hey, if anybody's in the chat, that wants to say something or ask a question, to feel free.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
Also, like and subscribe. Send us
Yeah,
an
like
email.
and subscribe. We gotta get better at saying that.
What is
like,
it? Click the bell.
Subscribe, the notification bell. Tell everybody you know to watch
Yes.
us.
Yeah,
I
please.
swear we will bring it. Okay, we're working it out. We're getting there.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see, we're figuring things out. We're figuring how to be online people,
Yeah, little by little,
step by step.
We're also not rich, so
Yeah.
paychecks. Gotta wait for things, but
Have you guys?
But we're working on it, episode by episode.
we are.
Yes. And everybody's done so much good stuff. So much work behind the scenes.
We're getting
Yeah.
there. We are
Yeah.
getting there.
Well,
But
I wanted to kind of like in our closing few minutes, I thought maybe we could like bring something tangible that the people could take home, right? So last episode, I believe we had talked about the book that you had mentioned, Mel, about like, I think what? And I put that thing in my Amazon cart, girl, because I was like, I need to have that. So what's like another thing? Oh, there we go.
I
like,
really
what's
didn't
another-
plan this, but
I
so
believe you.
this Mindsight by Daniel Siegel, it basically talks all about how to learn metacognition so that you can start to understand your projections and like
Cool.
how to start thinking about your thinking and understanding when thoughts are your ownership, when they're others' ownership, and when then there's societal ownership. Because there's different like thought processes going on. But
Yeah.
how you separate them, how you recognize them in yourself, and basically increasing your awareness in your mental capacity. So Mindsight by Daniel Siegel.
Nice.
a great book.
Thank you for that.
Of course. I got so many
Oh,
book
same.
wise. Oh, also another really good one. Okay, so this one is an investment. My therapist actually recommended this to me quite a few years ago. It's Feelings and Moods by Christopher Andre. I believe the book when I bought it was about $35. But this is not like, this one's more narrative and very like telling you a story and kind of walks you through things. This is really good if you're struggling to understand what different feelings and moods mean to you. So it's a little bit more textbook like, but you basically can go through it and start to understand like, okay, where does anger come from? And like, what does that feel like? And what does forgiveness look like in ourselves? And it gives just really good understanding of overall like how things become emotions a little bit and what they look like in our minds. But this one is also very good. Feelings and Moods, Christopher Andre.
All right. Amber, are you consuming any content lately or reading anything, watching anything that's getting you through? I was picturing for this segment like a comfort movie or like a good book or something, anything. Doesn't have
I'm not a big reader like you guys. I do like reading. I just don't like usually take the time to do it. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I told you guys about the show. It's been canceled now, which sucks. But they did release the rest of the second season. It's called Brilliant Minds.
okay.
And it's like takes place in a hospital, but it's like all mental health like related.
Okay.
Because he's there's a neurosurgeon and therapists and stuff. People that work.
There's people who do
Words.
things.
There's people who work there, but it's like because in like other hospital shows, usually somebody comes in and they have an issue, and then it's like House or something. Like they have to figure out what it is, and it's kind of like that. It is like that, but it's more neurological and psychological.
Nice.
It's a really good show. I highly recommend it. It's called Brilliant Minds. It's on Peacock, I think. And yeah, it sucks that it got canceled, but they did finish the second season. So there are 2 full seasons. Actually, did you start to watch it at all, Melissa?
I watched the full 2 seasons.
You did?
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
It was great.
I liked it.
Also, hello, Maggie Moody. We got a chat. Just saying hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
That's my mom.
Oh,
Is it?
hello, Mom.
Yes. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Margaret's mom.
And then
What about you, Margaret?
yeah, I was gonna say I just finished I've been doing audiobooks just because it's just easier. I just finished rereading How to Do the Work by Nicole LePera, Dr. Nicole LePera, which is a really great one, just about covers all the topics about trauma and how to work. And then I just restarted Trauma and Recovery by Judith Herman, which is another amazing. I just love her. So it's another reread, but yeah,
Nice.
I just love those, and I have a ton of things on my wish list on Audible just to keep the wish list never
Books keep
ends.
coming.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, thank
Well,
you,
as
everybody, for
always,
joining
lady.
us.
What'd you
Yes.
say?
Oh, I was thanking everybody for joining us.
Yes, exactly. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys, and just getting down to the nitty gritty. So I appreciate you, and until next week. Okay.
Bye.
Take care.
All right. Bye.